hello, hello. Hello, guys. Happy Sunday. Happy birthday eve for me. Oh, soggy Southern Oregon. Sorry to hear that, Kathy. I met, and I have to send you this information, Kathy Pruitt, because I don't know if I've shared this with you, but one of my favorite people, favorite peoples that comes to the show that I was just at are in Medford. And then they're opening another store in Oregon because it's kind of like a remote area, and they're getting lots of people that are like, can you open a store here? But I need to get you that information so that you guys can go, right? Hello, Deb Daniker. I just messaged you. I don't know if you saw it, but check your spam because I sent that to you this morning. I'm almost done with my water for today, but I needed some flavor. So I hope you guys had a great week. I had a fantastic week. Anytime you can be around like-minded people at an art show, all of these people that would sit at our tables and listen to our spiel about product and whatnot are independent art store owners or reps for the company, which is a distributor company out of New Orleans. It's one of my favorite events to go to see all of my artsy friends that, again, it's different than like a convention or, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but love. So yes, Kathy, I will. And then also my good friend, Mike at Rochester Arts. So I was just talking to him about, reaching out to the not chapters anymore, clubs, groups, whatever. But you guys don't be afraid in your area. If there's a mom and pop art store, and if you don't know if there's one, Google it and see if there is one and go support them. Because they are not your, big box stores that, sorry, frankly, are falling short these days. Support those independent art retailers, and they will work with you and they will bring things in that you want, and let you know about events and do events with you even. So, thank you, Debbie Easton. Yes, like, comment, share to be entered into the drawings. What does that say? We'll be starting shortly. That is not the one I was meant to put up. My thing is all out of whack, let me just say. So, hi, Carol. Hi, Cindy. That is wonderful, Loretta. And please, feel free to put that, Loretta, like on the membership group. Put that because I know that we have members in our group that are also in Florida. But I just think it's so important to invest our time and money and resources into these companies that are frankly struggling to exist. And many are doing well depending on where they are. But again, just talking to all these independent retail owners of art supplies, I was just moved. I was moved to search my area to see if there are any. I know that there are several in Birmingham, Alabama, and Huntsville, Alabama. And I plan to make some road trips to go visit them and do some lives and stuff just to kind of, support them and highlight them. And the days of walking into, oh my goodness, Marilyn, are you serious? I'll have to read that in just a minute. Congratulations. But anyway, anything I can do to help those people flourish and be seen and get out there, I'm hoping to be a part of that. Hello, Diane. Hello, Connie. So my high school friend, Marilyn and Kenny Arthur, they were both elected to alderman seats in different municipalities. I have to say that word slow. Oh, congratulations. That's fantastic for both of you. Wonderful. Oh, thank you, Loretta, for putting that information over on Facebook. Hello, Pat and Veronica and Linda and Leticia. Is it? I always ask you this. Leticia. Let me know. Because one of my very favorite independent store owners is Leticia, and her and Sammy have a store in Tijuana. And every time I get to go to the shows where these independent retail owners are, they're there, and I love it. So, hey you, how you feeling, Miss Laura? So Norma, originally I read you said, hurrah, so nice to see you. I thought you said huzzah. And there was a show on Netflix, I can't remember what it was, but Catherine the Great or something, and they're like, huzzah. Anyway, I was invited to sit on a board for the art center near me. That is fantastic, Loretta. It's a great way to get involved. Hello, Melinda. Loved your barn and truck painting so much. Both are fine. I know, but I want to say it right. Like I used to say, Lucy Matte, Matte, because hello, on on the matte medium is exactly how she spells her name, but it wasn't until I learned it's Mott. So I try and say that. Oh, you're so sweet, Deb Daniker. So sweet. Oh, I'm so glad you're feeling better. So glad. All right, so tomorrow's my birthday. And so like I said on the last live, I wasn't here last Sunday, the Sunday before, that I was gonna have 6 giveaways. And then today over on, I'm gonna write it right now because I forgot, but on Facebook, Miss, and I'll tell you in a minute. And then on YouTube, because we are streaming on both my Facebook and my YouTube channel. And if you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell if you're over on YouTube so that you know when I'm going live. You can also go to my Sandy McTier Designs page, hit those 3 little buttons and do notifications. So Facebook and them are always changing things. And if you're like, I didn't see you, I didn't know you were live, click on that and you can, you can modify or change what notifications you get. So anyway, hello, Donna Collins. I did get that big truck up today. The little one that I did as an ornament, but I did get the one up that's a shelf sitter, and it's like 8 by 8. So, oh, hello, Donna. Tell Rich I said hello. Thank you, Janet. Some people can't pronounce it in Spanish. Well, unfortunately, we had a number of small shops when I first moved here. Right, Beverly? Again, that's one of the reasons I really want to push this. And I am going to, in the next year, I have no time this year, but in the next year, starting in January, is seeking out these individual mom and pop fine art stores. The other thing is there are stores like bookstores in colleges, and they also are there at these events that I'm doing, and they sell product. So I'd love to see if there are any, kind of like in my local area, Mercer, even all the way up to Atlanta, would love to see. So, because I want to keep them in business, right? I am a firm believer that while this industry has changed over the decades, especially since the Society of Decorative Painters, that we all still want to paint and create, right? And I just realized that I did not put my second camera up above me. So I'm gonna have to do that incognito while you guys are talking amongst yourselves. I just have to share this camera and let's get this going. Don't know why I did not do that. There it is. Allow. Okay. So I will put that there for a second. All right, so over on, let me write this name down. I'm just gonna do that. So on Facebook, the first person that commented, the first person that, you might not have been here first, but you commented first, please message me, email me, text me, whatever. I think both of you have my info. What free e-packet you'd like on my website, okay? And don't tell me you don't want one, because I know one of you probably will, because you're very generous. Well, you're both very generous, but One has not won as many as the other. So, thank you. Yeah, so this is my birthday eve, and tomorrow night I have a lesson with my membership group, and I have some really cool giveaways. Happy mail for that, for them sharing my birthday with me. And then behind me I have these beautiful roses that my sweet friend Tracy Moreau sent me for my birthday month. Okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Loretta on Facebook and Beverly over on YouTube. You guys message me what free e-packet you want on my website. Okay, so I will put that there. On the last live, I told you guys that I was going to have some extra happy mail things because it's my birthday month. So of the 2 lives that I've done, up to the one I do in December, all those that comment, like, share are going to be entered into, this is one of the giveaways, all right, my favorite all-time heat tools. The other is my top 5 Dynasty brushes and my top 5 DecoArt Media fluid acrylics, okay? So all you have to do is like, comment, share this live, last live, and if you missed it, you can go back and comment because you'll still be entered. And then the first live in December, which right now I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be because a week from today, I leave to go to Mexico for 5 days to spend some time with my brother-in-law. So, all right, I am going to put this up and let's just get that in place. Let me see if I can get that there. Okay, cool. Always something, right? So it kind of had a little surprise visit for my oldest son. He got in this morning, or he got in yesterday from Japan. He did 2 weeks on his own, which scared the living daylights out of us. But listening to him today and the friends that he met from England and the lady on the girl that sat by him on the plane, and they hooked up and, well, they didn't hook up, but they hooked up with friends. And so he saw her on this trip and with her friends. So it was really cool because, you know, you always want your kids to have fun and be safe. And but he met people from Australia and the US and England, all over the world. And so, ooh, there's 32 new comments. Why is that? Hello, Linda. You need some close-up photos of those pretty roses, right? I've been taking a lot of reference photos. So Carol Doyle said, I saw you on Create TV painting a pumpkin. Yes, I got the sweetest note from one of my friends in Texas that said the same thing. She was like, I'm just sitting here watching TV and all of a sudden there you are and you're painting a pumpkin. So during the pandemic, I was invited by Make It Artsy and Julie Faye-Fan Bowser, who's amazing and very well known and big in the mixed media world. And so they invited me to come up and paint. So I drove up to DecoArt and drove up like in the middle of the pandemic to create that piece and do that piece. So yes, and I lived in Japan. My husband and I lived in Japan for 6 years, and so we were just so excited that he got to go. I think there was a resurgence of it with COVID. One of the positives from COVID, people getting creative again. Right, Dixie? Absolutely. Absolutely. But the sad thing with that too is that so many places have closed because we all went online and shopped, right? Now, don't not go on and shop on my site. Don't stop shopping online, but at the same time, if you've got a local place, support them. So, hello, Bonnie. So good to see you on. Yes, yes. Heidi Ho Painters. Hello, Chris. Okay, guys, so I did have some giveaways. I did not pull them because there were so many, but I am going to announce them. Now, y'all remember with my giveaways, I put all the names on the wheel from when the live ended all the way up till the morning of my next live, which was this morning. If you do not let me know by the next live, which is usually 2 weeks in the making, that you won and you send me your information, unfortunately, it goes back into the pile because I can't have, a row, a shelf of things that maybe you missed it and you didn't see that you won. So just to let you know, kind of to reiterate, it goes back into the stash and it's up and available for my next giveaway or whenever I do it, okay? So, hi Karen. So let me know. I do not know why Facebook is not scrolling down to like, hello Marlene and Molly Ann. Lots of people in Canada wearing masks again, right? So I just traveled to New Orleans and they are as well. I've had COVID 4 times. I don't want to get it again, but anyway, we just have to be safe, right? Okay, so all you have to do is like, comment, share to be entered into my Happy Meal giveaways. If you do not let me know that you won and give me your information by the next live, unfortunately, it goes back into the stash. The other thing is, on my website, when you order, I do not charge shipping at checkout because my website, along with many others around the world, charge by the item or by the weight. And it's never right. I've tried it over the years of being in business, and I always felt like I was overcharging my customers or having to refund because it overcharged them so much. So I invoice after. You have to pay your invoice before I ship your product. Now, there are times that I know, especially people in my membership group or people that order from me a lot, you know the drill. You know my process, and I will ship it. But if you don't order often or you've not ordered from me ever, you're going to get that invoice, and I'm not shipping it, sadly, until it's paid. I've been burned a couple times, and I won't do that again. So, and it's just me. It takes a lot of effort and time out of my schedule to do that, but I don't want to overcharge y'all. So I hope it's appreciated. Did you shout out who dat for me? Absolutely, Lucy. Absolutely. Hello, Nancy. I think I just saw that I had a message from you. Hi, Anne. Is there another wave? Yeah, there's another wave of COVID, unfortunately. I like the way you do your shipping. Thank you, Debbie Easton. So do I. And again, it creates a lot more work for me. And just 2 charges on y'all's end. But at the same time, I do not want to ship and make you pay things that are unnecessary. I also don't charge for my packaging. So anyway, Robin Richard, you're so sweet. Okay, sorry, we got to get busy because I got stuff to do. Okay, so the top, or the 6, I have 6, right? I said I was going to do? Yes. Okay, so a brush set, number 1, goes to Deb Pels. Okay, again, I didn't pull them because there were so many, and my desk is already slam full. Deb Pels, brush set, message me your mailing address, your information, and I'll get that off to you. All right, next one, stencil set, Peggy Jones. So again, I put all these names on a wheel. I can't do it while I'm live, or we'll be here forever. But a stencil set, Peggy Jones, message me your info. A stencil set, Sherry Ward, which is funny because I went to school with the Sherry Ward, but it's not that Sherry Ward. She was the first one that ever plucked my eyebrows. In fact, her and my sister held me down, and she plucked my eyebrows, and I cried like a baby. It hurt. Okay, so I have a new I have a new kit that has not been released, and the winner of that is Brenda Sawyer. While I know I have your info, please just send it to me. And then another brush set, and I know I have your info as well, but please send it to me. Donna Baker. All right. Now, I have 6 new giveaways. Brush set, a new kit set, stencil sets, some kind of miscellaneous odds and ends goodies that are like my faves. And then at the end of my birthday month and the first live in December, like I mentioned, I have that heat tool and a couple other things that everybody that's commented, liked, and shared throughout the entire month of November will be entered into those giveaways. All right. So, oh, you got it. Wonderful, Deb. Wonderful, wonderful. Hello, Linda. Okay, guys, I absolutely love, love, love this piece today. I'm going to show you a couple things with it, and thank you guys. So many people ordered it after I posted it yesterday. So thank you so much. I have some alternate ways that you could do something if you don't have one of the supplies. You did, Donna Baker, you did. So just message me. Like I said, I know your info, but it helps keep me accountable to get that list off there and get it shipped. Because my counter in my kitchen and my dining room table, that's a big, huge 10-foot long farm table, are packed with orders that I cut, but I have to ship. So, and tomorrow's my birthday, so I don't want to spend all day shipping, but I will if I have to. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Okay, let's move right down here and let me just show you. Oop, I didn't click the right button. There we go. Okay. And I might need to move that camera over because, like I said, it was. There we go. And I'll zoom in a minute. Let's do that so you don't have to see the bottom of my workstation, but more the top. There we go. All right. So in the kit that I have on my site, which is the same price as last live, which was this one, and I absolutely love the colors of this, love all the dimension. And so did you guys because it sold like hotcakes and I was shipping. Okay, so this one has 2 pieces that are glued together. You're going to glue them for my stand. It comes with the full 6x6 stencil, which is this knit stencil, which I love. And I'm going to show you how I did this on the cup and love the look. You're going to give a little shadow to that stencil. It also comes with this really sweet holiday wishes, laser cut words that are all one piece. The cup, the paint dauber, which I hope I did, thankfully. I brought one over so I could do it. And then the little topper. Okay, so, and then I'm also shipping those out with some freebies, as always. I've got some really cool little mini snowflakes that are going out with this one. So let me move this out of the way so I can show you how we painted it. Alrighty. Okay, so one of the coolest things, and I don't know if it's going to show up, but I hope it shows up, is, thank you, Chris Avola. I appreciate you. So the project will look so cute. Donna, let me just tell you, it would look so cute. And just tell Rich to be on the lookout in his mailbox, okay? Okay, so let's see if it shows up. I might need to kill some lights, but I don't know if you can see that. This is the neon confetti glitter. In fact, I am going to, excuse my shirt leaning forward, but I want to make this a little bit darker in here so that you can see. So DecoArt came out with their Love Color line, and there are 4 different neon confetti glitters. Okay, so let me just see if I can get the, okay, can you see? Let me just hold it up, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not the full, right there. Okay, and then that one is Mermaid Dreams and Party at My House. And they shine and sparkle so, so pretty. And that is what is on his bow tie. Okay, and so what I did is I put it on, but then I also took my brush to get that tiny little green fleck that is bigger than all the little flakes that are inside the glitter, and position them where I wanted them. So now, if you've got, what is it? If you've got Extreme Sheen, if you have Galaxy Glitter, if you've got Glamour Dust, which I used on the front part of this cup, you can use that. Just, use what you have, really, at the end of the day. But I do love how it sits in its little stand. Super cute. And if you didn't want to put it in a stand, you could attach it to a package right? On the little handle here. Give them a stand or not. So let's move that out of the way. And I will share what I did. Let me bring this over. Oh, I may have one. I need to go look at my stash. Right? Okay, so let's zoom in just a wee bit. All righty. I absolutely, oh, thank you, Lynn. I love him too. He's so sweet. So Linda, you switched to Facebook. Was YouTube acting up? I haven't seen any glitches, so yay. But let me just go ahead and tell you what I did for the surfaces on this piece. I base coated everything with my multi-purpose sealer. That's optional. It's just a go-to for me, okay? And so then I base coated everything with oyster beige, okay? Because it has a really heavy white base to it, so it's opaque. And I find that then putting white or warm white on top of it, you're going to get a really brighter white or more opaque white. So everything had oyster beige. I'm going to move this to the side. I sponged on oyster beige on my words. Same thing, oyster beige everywhere. And then on my gingerbread, I used red spice. You could use burnt sienna, cinnamon drop, so many different colors that you could use. And then on my candy cane, I did come back with titanium white, okay? But we're gonna do a couple things first. So I wanna show you a really cool way to add that dimensional stencil, but I also want to cover my gingerbread man. Oh, Ronnie, you got your package. Wonderful. Has anyone had any issues with Glamour Dust getting solid and not able? So if it's getting solid, Linda, that has something to do with humidity and moisture. So not quite sure if maybe like the lid was left open or what, but that's the only thing I could think of. I have never had an issue with my Glamour Dust getting clumpy. Okay, and I love, love, love Glamour Dust. Now, like I said, I'll show you a couple other things. I thought it would be really cute to use the Love Color frosting. I don't carry this, but it's amazing. And the Love Color glitter text is very much like snow text. So you could use that in place of what I did for the little flat part that comes down here. I just did Glamour Dust, okay? But you could easily do the Love Color glitter text or snow text and then sprinkle on some of the Glamour Dust glitter, okay? But, so I have these transparent, Elizabeth Stoll hooked me on these years ago. And they're the vellum Post-it notes. They're great for blocking things off. So I just have that there so I don't get that everywhere. And I'm going to line this up there. And then I'm just going to take another little Post-it note. Thank you. Chrisabella, you are on it. Over on Facebook, she posted a link for the Post-it notes that you can get on Amazon. All right. The liquid Glamour Dust, not the glitter. Got you, Linda. I don't use it a lot, to be honest with you. So they were still sealed. So what you can do in that instance, Linda, is you can message DecoArt, and then they're going to ask you for a number. And where that number is going to be, let me just see if I can find it on a bottle here. Okay, they're going to ask you for a batch number, which sometimes is hard to see, but you're going to see it right there. And excuse the nails because they are not looking great. I have an appointment Tuesday. But they're going to ask you for a batch number. That's going to tell them the year and what line it came off of. So if it's old, it's possible that just because of age is going to happen. All right, so I'm going to line this up center, but a little bit over to the left because I want there to be a shadow. So first color I'm going to get is Asphaltum. Again, everything has oyster beige on it, and then red spice and titanium white. let's get that asphaltum on. And I'm going to get a dry paper towel. Pull some of that paint to the side. Swirl it around in my brush. I'm using a 1/2 inch or a 5/8 Stencil Pro. Wipe almost all that off. And again, I just want this to kind of be as straight as possible. And I have that there. Alrighty. So, soft circular motion. I'm going to start on the center, holding it down. Again, you could tape it. You could tape it there or tape it to your workplace, but I'm just going to hold it down. But I want there to be a shadow. I want this to look almost like a cream, knit sweater, but it needs a little shadow. You could use gray if you don't have asphaltum. But the brown I used, the asphaltum, I shaded my gingerbread guy with. So it's going to all tie in and look really pretty. Okay, because when you use colors in different places in your design, it just creates this harmony and marriage of color that I love. All right, so we're going to go over here. I'm going to stop at the handle. Soft circular motions, counterclockwise, clockwise. Reload your brush. Swipe off almost all the paint. Oh, you're so welcome, Linda. Yeah, and just go to decor.com. Go to the bottom, contact them, and they will ask you for the information that I shared with you. That's going to let them know. Because even if you got it like last week at a store, that store might have had it in their warehouse or in their inventory for quite some time. So it will give Decor an idea of when it was manufactured, and that's all they can go by. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go here. All right, so that is our asphaltum, and then I'm going to move it over, and then this stencil lines up. So right here is going to line up right there. Oh, I cannot wait to go to the eye doctor again in January because my glasses broke, so I have my backup pair, and they are not great. I will tell you guys, a week from today, I will not be here on my Sundays in the studio. However, I will be sharing a lot of pictures because I'm going to Mexico for 5 days. So, alrighty. Now, let's move that little Post-it note out of the way. And I want to come in and wipe this off really well with a baby wipe. Just to get that brown off. You can always turn it over, but sometimes the paint migrates to the back. I have a hair on me, which I will do, but I want to dry it off first. So, hello, Susan. Isn't this stencil pretty? I love this stencil. I did try to do it small, but unfortunately, sometimes, thank you, Anne. I'm going to have a fantastic birthday. Again, my oldest surprised me this morning coming down from Atlanta after he got back from Japan for 2 weeks. And then I'm painting with my membership group tomorrow night. And I'm super excited about that because I actually have presents that I'm going to give them with some giveaways. And we are painting a misty forest. Alrighty, so this is going to be my shadow. All right. So I'm going to line it back up. And that is not it. I'm going to line, wait, nope. I'm going to line it back up. Hello, what the heck? Oh, I flipped it over. Duh. Okay, so I want to line it up. Right or no? Seriously, Sandy. There we go. It's always a thing, right? So line it up, and then we are going to shift it to the right. So I'm going to shift it slightly to the right. And I'm going to take the oyster beige that we first used, put some of that out on my palette. Let me just lift that up because don't forget, every time you see one of these, take it off. I really should have brought all my, I had beautiful Happy Mail from Kathy McAllister, a gorgeous birthday card from Cookie Trent, and I didn't bring any of that in. Bad me. Okay. And then I also want to get a little bit of titanium white. Because I was going to use like light buttermilk or almondine, and I thought, hello, I already have the base color of oyster beige. I can mix in a little bit of titanium white and not have to have another color added to the list. So again, stencil brush. That one needs to be washed better. So let's get this one. Alrighty. So I'm going to come to my palette, pick up some oyster beige and some titanium white, and I want to swirl it around. Then I'm going to take almost all of it off on a dry part of a dry paper towel. That's important. Oh, thanks, Ronnie. Yes, I'm excited. So, all right, so we lined it up and we shifted it to the right. Now this is going to take a couple of passes, okay? And that's one of the reasons that I went ahead and base coated those two things, was I knew that it was going to just take a little bit of time. So this is the oyster beige and titanium white. I would say about 50-50, but we're brush mixing, so it really doesn't matter. We just want to make a lighter color. Soft circular motions, counterclockwise and clockwise. Okay, again, pick up more. Before you go to your piece, wipe it off on your paper towel. I know that makes my camera shake too, sorry. Okay, so I'm just gonna move my fingers over to hold it down. Again, you can always tape it in place if you want to. I'm not being lazy and not doing it. Oyster beige, titanium white, swirl it around, wipe it off. And always go back to your piece with a very light pressure, because if you have way too much paint on it, it's going to seep underneath that stencil. It's going to make a mess. And as you start to see that paint dissipate, like, you know, maybe you don't have as much, add a little pressure. But I always start with a very light pressure. Okay, so see how that gave it a shadow? Now we have to do it twice, but I do want to go ahead and come over here. And again, I'm going to line it up with the brown first, and then I'm going to shift it over to that white, lighter color, oyster beige and white, and wipe it off. Thank you, Linda Safranco. It'll be 57. Yikes. How did that happen? It's just a number, right? But let me just tell you, my body feels it every day. So. All right, so we're going to do the handle. Okay. So what you'll see is there's a little variation. It's a little browner, but when we come back with the second coat, it's going to take care of it. So I'm just going to turn over my paper towel and just wipe off quite a bit of that paint. I'm going to come right back into the center. Line it up with the white. So if you see any brown, you need to scooch it over. Okay, and I'm just going to do titanium white. So I will load that up. Whew, and I need to turn my fans on. Hold on one second. Love the knitted shadow, right? So cool. I have to turn that little fan on at my feet because I'm roasting. Never really realized how strong these studio lights are until I'm in here. All right, so we are back to adding that brighter color, and I'm going to start in the center, and then I'm going to work my way over to the right and then over to the left, but I really want it to be brighter and wider in the center, and I think that's one thing that gives my cup a little bit of dimension. As it's standing, it doesn't just look flat. So, okay, so then this is just titanium white. Load it up, wipe it off, hold it down, stencil and work your way over. Okay, awesome. All right, and then over here on the handle, we'll line this up. All right, Sandy, where's it at? Right there. And then white. And then we'll brush that on the handle. Okay. So, love, love, love. Now, this got a little muted in here. I think my stencil, I didn't line it up the second time so great. But we're going to shade there. So it's really not that big of a deal. All right, so let's move that to the side. But let me show you too, real quick, if you want to wash your brush and your stencil, little hand sanitizer, circular motions, and then you just want to rinse your stencil off, dry it off, put it back in its little container holder. I do have 6x6 stencil binders on my website that I love. I have 4 of them completely full. And then also your brushes, because hand sanitizer is harsh, just like an alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and you don't want it to dry out the bristles. So do yourself a favor, wash those with a little soap and water, dry them, and they're ready to go for the next time. All right. Hello, Nancy. Let me just see. Again, make sure that you like, comment, share. I'm trying to get my comments to come back up over on YouTube because they just went away. So there they are. All right. Isn't technology just great? Alrighty. So I'm going to come in with a 1/2 inch angle, and I'm going to use my favorite, which is somewhere, a faux squirrel. So just to kind of give you an idea of, like, my go-to has always been the black gold. Okay. The faux squirrel, though, the filament, the bristles in that brush hold a little bit more water and release it a little bit slower than I have found with the black gold. They're both great. But I've been gravitating to the faux squirrel a lot lately. So a little bit of water in my brush. I think I'm going to put my palette here so you can see. We're going to get a little bit of that asphaltum. I'm working on my amazing Gray Matters palette paper. This came up at the thing too. Someone was like, this right here is worth the whole palette. And I have one laminated. The very first Gray Matters palette that I got, I laminated that. Okay, we're going to do just a very loose float of asphaltum around the edge. So you can see I'm kind of pity-pattying that as I'm pulling it. I'm not just pulling it in one line. I find when I do that, I tend to get a line. So I like to do what I call the Chris Hoy method, which is that pity-pat float, just very loose. In fact, I think she was the first one I saw do that very loose float, and I'm like, ooh, I love that look. Okay, now I know we have a thing up here, but just for grins to kind of keep the shape of things, we're going to put a little bit up here. You could personalize these. There's so many things you could do with this little kit and design, which I just think is so cute. Okay, so we're going to go on the inside of the handle. I'm going to kind of taper that off down here. And then we're going to come from the outside. So the toe of my brush with color is down here. And I'm going to float that up about halfway and stop. We'll have a little highlight that helps take care of some of that. Okay, but let's get a little bit darker and a little bit darker. Don't be a wimpy floater. Right? I love the Gray Matters palette too. Could you go back and re-stencil the asphaltum on the spot So Molly Ann, no, what I'd have to do is I'd have to go back in and redo the asphaltum and then come back and redo the titanium white and oyster beige and then the titanium white. And so yes, Nancy, this is all one piece. So, you know, and I didn't do the back on my original. It has additional pieces with it, like the little foam that comes over the top and a stand. But on the back, you could definitely paint it the exact same way, or you could stencil it with that knit stencil, which I think would be super cute. Okay. Now, I do want to come back, believe it or not, I'm going to come back because I want to make this center bit even brighter. So I'm going to use a smaller stencil brush. Get a little white. Oop, not that one. That's titanium white. I grabbed the wrong white. A little titanium white. Load up that small stencil brush. I just want to make this brighter, make it stand out. Although a lot of it's covered. Just go right up to him, right down the center, and then maybe a couple rows over. Again, so it kind of looks like it goes like that, right? Okay, awesome. All right. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. I told my group, but these are on the way. I will have these on my website either next week. Well, next week I'm going to be in Mexico. So most likely as soon as I get back, they're going to go up. And it's the 0.7 millimeter fine tip that I used on my truck. Anyway, I have quite a few of these coming in, so cannot wait for that. I will post it and let you guys know. Okay. All right, let's do some base coating. So I'm going to use Country Red for the stripes. Did I put Country Red? I did. On my palette right here. Now, I was doing this, and it was just a little on the dark side. So I have to tell you, I did something and did not like it. So I changed it, but I liked the way the change made it look, if that makes sense. So I will share that with you. So I have the Country Red, and I'm just going to paint these little stripes because they're scored. So I'll just go ahead and hold that up so that you can see it. On the kit, they're scored. And I know I just went over the line, but I don't care because I will come back with a little bit of white and take care of that. Okay. Now the other thing is you could always come in here and do the edge as well. Okay. Completely up to you. And we will get that going right there. Oh, I completely forgot to share with you guys too. This week I have this coming up. This is my sunflower plaque experience painting. We're going to be in a private Facebook group. It is $45, but you can use your discount code. And if you're in my membership group, your discount code's better. But we're going to be painting for like 6 to 9 hours, probably closer to 9, and really breaking down every step of that piece. So if you've ever wanted to take a class, or you've taken a class and you're like, you know, it was a project and I finished it, but I still don't know that I learned how to do that, I'm going to share how to draw a sunflower by hand, the things to look for, the shape of things to look for. And that starts on Wednesday. Everything is recorded, so if you can't join live, you'll always have access to the replay. Okay? So, New Orleans was a successful trip for the addition, right? Ronnie, totally. Hello, my friend Kara Hurd. How are you, love? I know I'm so excited to get the Posca. So I have the 7 millimeter coming, but I do think I might go ahead and get this one as well. I'm not carrying the whole line of Posca pens. Let me just say, there's some great pens, They are great pens, but this is the one that I use that is permanent. I don't have to seal it. I love it. And so that's the one I ordered. Okay. It was my mission. It was my mission for Ronnie Marks and myself to get those on. Okay, anytime you use that heat tool, make sure that your piece is not hot. If it is, guess what? That paint's gonna go right out of your brush and stick right in place. So I'm gonna come back with my white. I already did one coat of titanium white on here, and I'm gonna be able to fix up any place that maybe it went out the line and I don't want it to go out the line. Again, they're just little scored lines on the design, on the laser cut piece. And I'm glad I cut as many as I did yesterday, because after I posted it, you guys were ordering. All right, now this one I did get a little wide. So I am gonna come back in right there and we'll fix that up. And right there, I'm probably gonna have to do another white just to get that little red to go away, right? Teamwork, absolutely. Yes, Deb, that's great to know too. Yeah, I was gonna order them there, but again, I like to carry only the things that I love and that I use and that I share with you guys. So, hello, Karen. Thank you, Deb. I think so too, right? You know, it gives you a little bit of shadow, and you could always use gray, like slate gray, even Payne's gray, which is kind of surprising I didn't, but I'll tell you, I wanted to float that asphaltum along the edge and it not be so dark. And so that's why I went with the asphaltum as the shadow color. All right, I've got glitter in this brush, so let's try and get that out because we don't want it in here just yet. Look, I got that glitter. The other thing is when you guys are using glitters and stuff and using your brushes, use brushes that have horrible chisel edges. Don't ruin one of your best brushes, okay? All right, so I'm gonna come back in with some of that white. And we're going to float that right over that. And a little bit more there. A little bit more there. And I don't need much there. All righty. So I'm gonna dry it. It's gonna jump around like when I'm painting and creating at home, a lot of times I'll jump around, like I'll leave that and I go to that and I come back and go to that. Do that for yourself if you're like, oh gosh, this candy cane is driving me absolutely crazy. Go to the gingerbread man. The gingerbread man's driving you crazy. Go to the words, all right? Because when we stay in one place that's really aggravating us, guess what we do? We tend to make it worse. I'm going to do one more coat of country red, and then I'm going to show you. I thought, oh, I'll just do a wash or a layer of fiery red over it, and it just made it a little too pink. So I will show you what I ended up doing, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I love that look. Okay. Yes, they are Japanese. They're uni, kind of the same Uniball, Japanese ink. I've had some forever. Got some at Walmart. Got some at the last show I went to. Gave away some to my membership group. Have another pack to give away to Happy Mail for this month. And I was just so thrilled to be able to get a contact to carry them and not have them outrageously expensive. All right, let me get another layer just on this one, because obviously I went too far with the red. Okay, I'm gonna put out on my palette some fiery red. Okay, so the neon. I carry the neons because I love them and I use them. I don't carry everything, even the things I love, I don't carry everything I love, because again, before the pandemic, I was not gonna get into the brushes and paint game. However, I wanted to be able to supply for the people that watch me paint the things that I like to use. So back to a number 8 flat. I'm going to pick up that fiery red, and let me just show you. I did it, and you're probably going to get the same like thought, like, okay, that just made it really pink, right? Now it is a great highlighting color for red. Maxine Thomas loves this fiery red as a highlight. But let me just show you what I did. Okay, so I put it on and look at the difference. It's pretty, but it makes it a little on the pinky orange side of red. But because I like to paint in layers, I painted it, did not like it, and I came back over it with a wash of country red, and it was absolutely ideal. All right, let's dry that. The neon paints are great, aren't they? Oh, thank you, Anne. Yeah, I used to do this a lot when I painted in W oils. I always gave like a palette guide that you could slide underneath your palette paper, but that was when it was white. I still feel like I need a little bit of white on my cup, but I'm gonna leave it now. Okay. Now I'm gonna rinse that out, pat it off on my paper towel. My brush is still wet. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of country red. So I have more water than I have paint. And I'm gonna paint a wash. Now, that's the color red that I really like. And there, this is shining through, the neon is shining through, but it's giving me that rich red look without it being dull. Because, you know, country red, love country red, but it can go a little just on the dull red, darker side. And I wanted it to shine. Now I have to come back in with my white, fix it up. Okay, but how pretty is that? The look of that and the wash of that over, right? Now I'm gonna keep that in my brush, and on the corner, one corner only, I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that fiery red, kind of work that into my brush. And then I'm going to pull that right along the top of that area. And you know what? I have to dry it first because that's doing nothing. So will the sunflower class, so yes, Kathy, the sunflower class is in acrylics. There will be a worksheet in there this week. Wednesday is is the evening. Thursday's the morning because I have a membership group Thursday night, and then Friday's also morning. But we're gonna paint till we're done, and I'm taking you from prepping your piece all the way to the very end of varnishing your piece. I really wanted these to be super immersive and educational instead of just okay, that's a 6-hour Zoom, I'm done. All right, so again, I have that fiery red. And this one, what did I do? Let's see. This one, I kind of went along the top. There, and that edge. Aw, thank you, Kathy. We're gonna have fun. And again, lifetime access. It will always be there. It will. Thank you, Darlene. I'm gonna come back to the white. Just wanna kind of finish this element, move on to the ginger. Bread man. Alrighty, I think that is it. we will dry it, dry brush, highlight, and move on to this guy. Absolutely, Anna. Yes, you can use the fiery red to highlight a red ribbon or bow. Yes, absolutely. It's a great color. A great color for shading a red. Personally, I like to use either a little asphaltum with the red color I'm using, or Doxine purple is a great shading color for red. Okay, so I'm going to get my medium mezzaluna when I can find it. These are my go-to dry brushes. The filament, there's hard and soft bristles. Just get a really pretty dry brush look. Let's get some dry paper towels. I'm going to get white, and I will just work that in just like I would a stencil brush. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to wipe almost all of it off. Okay. So before I do the highlight line, let me just zoom in just a wee bit so you can see this. I want a dry brush. So I'm going to start on the white. I'm going to dry brush, a little soft circular motion, going down, there, and then coming back, and then carrying that on. So mimicking the shape of the candy cane. Oh, and I forgot to show you guys what we did in my, like I always do. So my membership group, we did grapes. So using a lot of the same techniques that we've done, like when we did the apple with washes and color and stuff. So it kind of went along with our apple that we did. Loved that lesson. All right, so I'm gonna pick up a little bit more white. I am always a firm believer that do a little, come back and do more, instead of trying to do a whole bunch at one time and ruining it. So I'm going to start on the white, because if I start here and it's too much, it's too late. I'm going to have to wipe it off. So start on the white, work your way down, soft circular motions. And then in December, same kind of lesson that I'm doing for my sunflower, I'm doing for my Christmas, this one. So the Holiday Splendor Experience. Again, we go from the background, doing those stripes, doing the line drawing, base coating, putting all the elements in. On that bow, Anna, I used fiery red on that bow and the little streamers, and it really made a big difference on that piece. Okay, so we've got our little highlight that's dry brushed on, right? And then I'm just going to take my Posca pen, and these are a paint pen, so you want to kind of pump it and make sure to start on the white. I'm just going to draw a line, little dot, line, a little dot. Okay, get a nice little highlight there. I'm going to put this to the side for a second. Let's come to here, and I'm going to grab, what am I going to grab? I want to grab a piece of paper because I want to glitter it. However, I don't want that glitter to go everywhere, but I also want it to dry so that we can do the little sprinkles on it. So on this piece, I'm going to use that little sponge dauber, and this one of these comes with the kit. Hello, Karen Jones. So I don't know if you were on. Sorry, I got to pick it back up because I threw it on the floor. But this is the great piece that Tracy was talking about, that she watched, that she mentioned yesterday. So, alrighty. Zoom back in. These little sponge daubers are great for little kit pieces or random act of kindness pins or whatever, and you don't want to get the edges all messed up with paint. So I'm going to load it up with the white, tap it. Thank you, Robin Richer. All right, so I'm going to tap, 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 tap. And while it's wet, remember it was base coated with oyster beige, I could brush the paint on, but this is just going to give it a little bit of texture. And then sprinkle it with my Glamour Dust crystal. Oh, I just love this glitter. Let's take the lid off. All right, we're going to put this to the side. And I did go ahead and do the top as well with a little bit of white. And let's put that back in the container. Save it. All right. So that will dry, and then we'll come back and put our little sprinkles on, which I think are super fun. I was going to do those with the jelly drops, and then I just thought, nah, it's too much. You know, at some point you just got to stop with all the different products and use what you have, right? But I am going to, bear with me, again, come back with white, because I just want this to be nice and bright. And I know I did my original twice, but you know, if it's not as bright as you want it, come back, add a little bit of that color. And I'm going to keep this stencil brush, and we'll highlight our gingerbread man. Okay, so I'm just going to do those two over and the one in the center. There, much better. Much, much better. I can't get glitter to stick to wet paint. Okay, let me show you a trick. After your paint, if you have that issue and it's not sticking, let it dry carry and then put matte medium on it. Matte medium does so many things, but it will take that glitter a lot easier than the like wet paint, okay? All right, now what I want to do is I want to come in and highlight this gingerbread man. Oops, just drop my mezzaluna. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I dropped it and it rolled, but I need it. So let's get out some red spice. That's what I base coated. Oh, and I don't have that on here. Hello. Okay, so a little red spice, because if I come in with just white, it's going to make a big mess. And I do think I'm going to go to, instead of that, look how much bigger that is. That's going to give me too much of a dry brush. So I'm going to take that medium mezzaluna, pick up some white, wipe it off, pick up some red spice, and work that in. Okay, and wipe it off. I know I need more white. And anytime you try and make a color lighter, don't go back to what you just tried to make light. Go next to it, because what happens is oftentimes you might like this color and you might like what's in the middle, but you're going for what's on the far right, right? So just go right next to it. Again, take your paper towel, wipe almost all of it off. Hello, Linda, thank you. Great place to test it, middle of your hand. I got a little color, not too much, exactly what I'm going for. All right, so I want to come right here in the middle of his face. Light circular motions. Counterclockwise, clockwise. Don't worry if it's a little too bright, like right there, because we are going to do a wash of red spice over him. Okay, but I wanted to give him kind of a flawless glow right in the center. In that color, you can still see the red spice, and then you can see the shading, which is the asphaltum. So you just get a really pretty glow. So again, center out, not going all the way to the edge. Circular motions, come right here on his hands. Again, counterclockwise, clockwise. I know his bow is there, and this brush obviously has glitter in it. I don't know why. I think because originally I was going to do the hanging over part, I was going to do that with the snow text, the glitter text, and decided not to. Okay, so again, a little bit more of that red spice. You could even use red spice in a little oyster beige if you wanted it to be a little more toned down, but I wanted it to give them a glow, so I went with the white. Okay, soft circular motions. Okay. Right, Molly Ann? Yes, that's how you get that nice glow in the middle of your face. Hello, Ellie. Hope you had a wonderful birthday. Do the Posca pens come out in a puddle when first priming? So yes, they do. You're going to take it and prime it like you do any acrylic pen. And just, now I will say, instead of going up and down really hard, I like to go from the side, because if nothing else, it gives maybe that one edge a little dull. Whereas the top, if you're really pushing down hard, you're going to make that very tip very, very dull and flat. So I go from the side and kind of pump that. All right. Alrighty, so I'm going to come back with that number 8. Oh, I'll just use this, the 1/2 inch angle. It's got water in it. I'm going to tap it off. I'm going to pick up a little bit of red spice, and I'm going to work that in so you see how inky that is on my palette. It's such a pretty color. And I'm just going to give it a nice little wash. And then let's dry it. So you see, you still get that glow. And if you've got a silicone mat like I have, best thing to get the glitter off is packing tape. Oh, Sharon, you might have to go back out and come back in. Not sure. I haven't seen one glitch on my end, which is great. It was very old, so I wonder if they had frozen. It could, or they could dry out, Karen. Yeah, you want to use them. That's my #1 goal next year too, guys, with my art supplies, is I am going to use what I have and share the things that I have that I've had and haven't used. Okay, let's zoom out just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go to my 3/8 angle, although you could always use a 1/2 inch. I just want a little bit more control. So my 3/8 angle, and on the toe, which is that long part, a little bit of asphaltum. Work that in. Get a little touch of water. You want it to move. Okay. And we are going to float that color right along our gingerbread guy. Right along the outside edge, which is going to make that glow in the center even brighter. And I am going to switch to my 1/2 inch. Just no need to sit there and struggle with it. So I'm going to do a little bit on the top, but down here, I want to make this a little bit darker on the bottom. So right in that little, like his armpit area, a little crook of his arm. And then we will go right above the cup. On his arm. And if you've got an issue when you're floating color, like, I do that and then I pick up what I just put on, dry it. Dry it with the heat tool before you move on. Okay. I know it's wet, got a little bit of a glare, so let's take that off. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. Well, so Sue, red spice, I would say, is a little more on the, you can see it. It's, like a burnt sienna. It came out in 22, if you can't tell. When I get my colors new, I will write that, write what's new, and the year it came out. So it is a little more burnt sienna than red. Okay, let's get out. I'm gonna let that sit for a second. Let's get out our Payne's Gray because I know I haven't finished. So a little Payne's Gray. This is my go-to Payne's Gray. I sell this on my website. Not a big, huge fan of Americana Payne's Gray, or haven't found another acrylic Payne's Gray that I really like other than this one. It is transparent, and it's just going to give you a really pretty shading. So we'll go back to my 1/2 inch angle, rinse it out, dry it off. I'm going to come here to my Payne's Gray, pick it up on the toe. These fluid acrylics are highly pigmented, so you need just a little bit. And then we're going to float that right along our candy cane. And while you're doing that, if you're like, oh, I don't want a line, let me find. I always have it until I need it. And then I can't find it. Seriously, Sandy. My flat top mop, I just used it. Hello. Your flat top mop, okay? Your IPC flat top mop, or any mop you have. Doesn't have to be that one. But we want to bring that Payne's Gray down. I'm going to bring it right along the bottom. And then remember, guys, too, it's me, myself, and I. So if you have a question and I miss it, I promise to go back and answer. YouTube's a little bit harder because once the chat closes, you can't go back into the chat, where I can like on Facebook, but I can always put it in the comments. Okay. And again, oops. Let's kind of soften that with your mop. And I do have a really nice, rich shading on my candy cane a little bit lower, and I'm going to come back and do that again. Because I like the look of it. Again, make sure it's not hot. Thank you, Molly Ann. Again, it is my go-to favorite color to shade with. You can mix it with Americanas or any acrylic for that matter to make it darker. But look at the difference in that shading right there and how just it makes it look so dimensional. I'm going to come in here. And around. All right. Let's leave that. And go to our gingerbread man. Now, you can come in with a black Identipen, a Deli Mate marker. You can get, I personally, when you have something like this, would much rather use a pen, not on the eyes. The eyes, I'm going to use the bottom of my paintbrush. But like on his mouth, if I used a liner to do that, I know it's not going to go right. It's going to go south quick. So I have that, and then handle of my paintbrush. So this is a 0 rigger. I'm going to dip that into the Payne's Gray. Touch and swirl to fill in the eyes. Okay, touch and swirl. Now, I'm not going to do his little buttons down his chest just yet because I want to base coat in his bow tie. And I'm actually going to do that with a little bit of sour apple. And because there's brown there, I'm just going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of white and sour apple just to make it more opaque. Let's get a little bit more white there. And we're going to paint in his little bow tie. And then I'll come back and do it with just sour apple when it's dry, because that's going to give you that really pretty glow. This rigger has seen better days. I think I left it in my water basin too long. It's got a little split. So don't leave your liners and riggers in the water, or any of your brushes for that matter. Okay, I'm just bringing everything to that center. All right, let's dry it, and I'll dry his eyes as well. Aw, thank you, Deb. So Deb Hells Sholnick, did you see you won one of the giveaways? Hello, Beverly Winkleman. Aw, thank you, Linda Safranco. I can't wait to see yours painted. Alrighty, now I need some more sour apple. I love this color. It's just so pretty. Nice and bright. I'm gonna go back to that zero rigger. I rinsed it out, dried it off. Let me get this so you guys can see it. And then I'm just pulling the stroke towards me. So instead of it just doing it warm white or white, look at the difference in how much brighter that is, okay? So mix your base color with your white, paint it in, come back, add that color on top, and it's just gonna sing and be really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna come back in with this flat brush because I can see I went outside the edge. Again, these silly glasses that I have. Arate. Oh, another great thing with a pen instead of a liner brush, me personally, I'd much rather come in with a little eyebrow. Okay. We're gonna let all that kind of set up. I'm gonna come back in with that rigger in titanium white. Hi, Linda. Karen Jones, my comments were hidden. Huh, why are your comments hidden? I haven't done anything to hide your comments. That's silly. Alrighty, so zero rigger or whatever, liner brush, rigger, and we're gonna come in and go right down that. I'm gonna stop just short of the going to the edge and pull it off. And then I will flip it over and pull it this way. What that's going to do is it's going to keep it from building up on the edge of my surface. Okay? So when you've got a cutout or something, just stop short and go off with your brush, pull it around, and go off with your brush. Okay. How cute is that? And I know I did the Posca pen, but I think I want to do a nice little brighter highlight on my candy cane. Okay, let's dry everything because I know I'm going to get into those eyes and that's not going to be good. Oh, okay. Thanks, Lucy. I thought something was wrong. Just got home from Sunday service. Aw, awesome, Margie. Thank you. So I do have the, there's like a little project sheet that comes and it tells you what colors I used, what brushes I used. No need for an e-packet for this because of, you know, I'm not doing anything that you would need a pattern for. So, and then the kits are going out with the printed ones. So if you order a kit, you no need to download the one unless you want to, okay? Since I still have that rigger, I'm gonna come in with a little bit of asphaltum and a little bit of Payne's Gray. And right here in the back, there's like the back of the cup, okay? So you don't do the whole thing. Like I wouldn't go over the candy cane because we want the candy cane in the cup, right? And then same thing over here. Right to our gingerbread man. Okay, let's get out some colors. I'm gonna get out black green for a little shading. And I need more asphaltum. And let's go to our 1/4-inch angle, which I have here. So I have my faux squirrel 1/4-inch angle. You can see it's damp, a little bit of asphaltum on it. Work that in on the toe. Okay, swipe it across your paper towel if you feel like you have too much paint, which I did. And then the toe has the paint, so I'm going to float that right along that little white accent. And we'll assembly line. So we'll do one side, flip it around, and we'll come back and do this side. Oops. Okay. And then I'm also going to come up underneath, so a little asphaltum and a tiny touch, like let the toe of that just kiss the tip of that paint puddle. Work it back into your asphaltum. And so if my, maybe my light's coming from like 2 o'clock over here, I'm going to have a nice little shadow on that bow and underneath, and then to there. I wouldn't have it here. Although you could even have just a little bit right at the neck and arm. And then also underneath his eyes. And I don't think I have enough paint on my brush. Again, tiny touch of water just to get it to move. We're going to put that almost like a little U-stroke, too big, under his eyes. We don't want to give him bags. He doesn't need any bags. A little bit of asphaltum, because I have enough Payne's Gray. We're going to go underneath his mouth. Okay, and I'm just kind of touching it with my hand. You can always come back in and mop it with your fingers. I'm afraid those eyes are still a little wet. And then before I do on his belly here, I am just going to do a little, almost like a little C-stroke, right there, and right there. Okay, so see how that just makes that stand out. I saw that, Sue. I can always send it UPS. So you can just message me and let me know, okay? All right, let's let that dry for a second and then go to our black green. So on the toe of my 1/4-inch angle, shader, I never say that, but it is an angle shader. I'm going to come right down in here and float that color right at the base of that knot. Okay. Am I zoomed in enough, or you guys need me to zoom in? Aw, he makes you smile. Me too, Lois. I love him. Again, just very loose, right at the base of that side of the knot. Okay. Now, one thing I did do, because again, I didn't want it just to look flat. Anytime you can give dimension to something. So look at his bow. I just did a little highlight above the bottom of the bow. Again, to make it look dimensional instead of just a flat pin-on bow. So I'm going to come here and do the bottom of each little section. And I just want to look at the comments. Hello, Marilyn. Can you guys see him okay, or do you need me to zoom in a little bit more? I'm trying to keep my palette as well in the shot. And so we're just going to do the little sides there. Look at the difference, doing that little notch right there. And we'll come here. Okay. And then the little knot in the center, we're just going to do almost like a C. So I have him sideways along the base. I'm just going to do a little bit of a C. Thank you, Karen. All right, so I rinsed that off. Now I'm going to come back to that sour apple. Okay, so sour apple and a little titanium white, and work that in. Oop, too much water. Your palette, your brush is always going to tell on you. If you see a bunch of water, just touch your paper towel and go from there. Okay, so I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to go from here out to the edge. Okay, so see the difference? Now all of a sudden I have a dimensional bow versus a flat bow. And then same thing. I'm going to go from here and touch. Okay. Same color, so sour apple, titanium white. And a lot of this you're not going to see because I have so much going on with the glitter, but I did want to give it a really nice little base. So a little highlight along the top and a little highlight on that knot. Okay, I'm doing the glitter last because I will totally get into it with my fingers. Okay, and then you can brighten that. Might take a couple of strokes because that white is going to soak in. All right. Thanks, guys. I love him. He's so stinking cute. Alrighty. So I'm going to come back with my Posca pen while I let some things set up. And right up underneath, oh no, it's not an underneath, it's above his eyebrows. I did a little white highlight, so I'm just going to touch and pull instead of push and pull. If you push, you're going to get maybe a blob. And pull. And then I'm going to do a little highlight on his mouth and give him a little dot. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I'm going to go to my small mezzaluna. So my small mezzaluna, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of that red spice and a little bit of white and work that in because I see something that's bothering me. And we are going to wipe that off, kind of in his T-zone, if you're thinking about makeup, but like right where his nose that he doesn't have is, there's like a little dark spot right there. And so I just want to brighten that up. Okay. Just like that. Okay, to that same brush though, I'm going to pick up Country Red and a little bit of white, swirl it around, wipe it off, pick up more white, go to a different place. Okay, wipe it off, test it in the palm of your hand if you need to, especially for his cheeks. You don't want to make those too bright too quick, right? Soft circular motion, and on this small mezzaluna, I'm going to use the corner. And I'm just going to do a soft little swirl. Okay, so my first layer, and then I'll pick up more white, swirl it around on my brush. Wipe almost all of it off on a paper towel. And we're going to come back and we're going to dry brush on top of that, which is going to make his cheeks brighter and prettier. Cute. And then I did a little dot, little dot, little dot. A little highlight, if you will. Okay. Oh, and I'll go ahead and do these as well. You can do it with a pen or you can do it with the end of a paintbrush. But the little dots on each side of his little rickrack. And then I'm going to take the handle of my brush, dip it into Payne's Gray, and let's go ahead and do his little buttons here. Okay, let's move this. I'm going to move that to the side and come over here to the little glittery top part. Can you show the bottle with paint you sparkled the bow with? I will, Laura. Yes. So it's the Love Color Mermaid Dreams. Do have this on my website. First color I did was sour apple and some white, then sour apple, and then black green. Okay, on this piece, I used my Zero Rigger. Let me get that wherever it's at. And I will show you up close on camera. Okay, because anytime you use watered down paint on this glitter, it's going to spread. Okay, and mine spread, but I figured out a way to fix it. So let me zoom in just a wee bit so that you can see, or a lot bit. Okay, so I am gonna dry off my, I rinsed it and I dried it off, just like that. Just run it through my fingers. And I'm gonna pick up a little bit of country red, okay? You do need a little water, it's not gonna come off that rigor. And I'm just gonna do a little swipe, like a little sprinkle, if you will. And you can put them wherever you want. Okay. If it's really, really watery, it is just gonna spread. So try to have a little bit of water, a little more paint. Get your red sprinkles on. Okay, I'm gonna rinse that. Do you have just the surface on the website? I don't, but great point, Lois. So what I will do, or who asked that? Yes, Lois did. I can put just him, just the surface. I do have just the words, but I don't have just the surface because everything is $9.75, and I have to tell you, I don't know how much cheaper it would be because I really, really discounted those stencils so that it would be a reasonable price. Anyway, but I'll look and see what I can do to get just the surface on there. All right, so I have sour apple now, and I'm going to come in and do a little sprinkle here and there. Again, I'm not even following what I did on my original, just kind of putting those sprinkles on. Kind of needs one right there. All right, let's rinse that. And then I took my any kind of small brush. You could even use your 1/4 inch angles, like a number 2 or a number 4 flat. And I'm going to come in with a little bit of Payne's Gray. Need a touch of water, just a wee bit. Tap it across my paper towel. And up underneath, yeah, wipe too much off. I want to tap in a little shadow. Okay. If you do it again real wet, it's gonna bleed into the glitter. And if it does, that's okay. You can fix it with white. I'll show you how to do that. But that little Payne's Gray is just going to give that sprinkle a little lift. Do I have it on that side? Let me see. I do. I'll come back with my rigger. Oops, get a little bit there. And this number 2 has seen better days, let me just say. Alrighty. I'll come back with my rigger now and a little bit of white. And if I need to clean up anywhere, like if any of that shadow got a little too wide or bled too much, I can just come back with white right next to it and thin it out. Okay. And then let's dry this. Aw, thank you, Norma. Right, totally understand, Carol. Yeah. Again, the stencil's $6 on its own, so it's not like deconstructing the kit that this is going to be $3. That's not the way I was able to do it. But I will see what I can do to get that on there by itself. All right, I need a 1/4 inch or 3/8 angle with just a little bit of Payne's Gray, and I want to come right here. So it has these little notches for it to sit, and these 2 notches go along the back, okay? So we don't want those white. They're actually going to be Payne's Gray, and it's going to have a little bit of a lip right there. Okay, so it looks like it goes around, and the white goes to there. All right, loving that. I will take that same and I'm just going to do very lightly around the bottom edge. You can do that part before the glitter, but sometimes the glitter will just cover it up completely and you won't be able to see that shadow. So just kind of let it hit the glitter where it hits it. All right. Now let's come back to our gingerbread guy. And I'm going to take the, that's still wet? Let's dry it. So we are almost done with him. Okay. And I just did a little highlight, a little highlight, little highlight. Okay, and you can't even see that one because it's covered. All right, let's move that to the side, do these finishing little touches. So on this one, I came back with that little sponge dauber. Remember, I base coated it with oyster beige to begin with, then white, and now I'm going to come back with sour apple and tap, 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 tap. So my membership group, just so you know, I will get our list of colors we're using for tomorrow night's lesson, but there's no line drawing because we're doing a misty forest with evergreen trees. So, and I'll get that loaded tonight for you guys. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to come back in between where letters touch. I don't know that I'm going to do all of them, but I will try. Okay, so in between where letters touch, like here. Okay, now there's no ridge there. Like that part right there isn't raised, but because I shaded it on both sides, it kind of gives the appearance of a raised look. And I'll show you what I mean by that. On my S here, I'll go below that little notch and above that little notch. Okay. And if you mess it up and you're like, oh, I got that too thick, you can come back in with some of your sour apple and fix it up. All right. So a 3/8 angle or a 1/4 inch angle probably is what I should use. Same thing on this one. I let it go behind. And this one. On the T. And then below that T crossing and above it. Same thing on the H. I wanted that stroke right here to look like it goes on top. So a little shading underneath that and above it. My husband just came in to pull orders. You guys must have been ordering. All right, and then we'll go there, a little under there, on that side of the D. And then this is, again, where you can come in, like, what part of that D do you want to shade? I think I'm going to shade on that part right there. And I'll do that part right there. Where the A meets that line, the Y meets that line. Same thing, that little loop coming up and over. We're going to shade on both sides. Right here where the I and the W meet. A little bit of shading right there. And then same thing, I like when something like that happens, to make it look like that's the dimensional part. So I'll put that there and there. And what else do we have? Oh, there. Same thing above that S. Line above there. Sorry, I'm got my head buried, so if you're asking me a question, I'll have to look in a second. A little there, where it meets the E, where it meets the S, and above that, and above that. Now, if at any time it gets a little thick, you can always come back with your sour apple color, but I did come back with sour apple and white with my 1/4 inch angle, which I have to find because I have every brush in my water basin. Hello, Eileen. Thank you, Robin. Oh, the Misty Forest is so cute. It's so pretty. I can't wait to get it loaded. I was going to this morning, then my son surprised me. So, alrighty. So I have sour apple and white, and I'm just going to hit the tops of these letters I might need to get a little more sour apple out. Let's see. So I'm using the angle brush because I don't want it to be too wide. Like if I used the sponge, I would make it too wide, I know. But the tops of those letters, the top of that W. Oh, I missed one area, and I did this on my original too, so I'm gonna come back and show you because I was like, oops, forgot those. So we have two eyes, right? Now, those letters kind of just flow right into each other. I see already where I need a little sour apple right here, where that shading got wide. But right up underneath the dot on the eye, there needs to be a little shadow right up underneath it, just to make it look like it's separated. Okay. Oh, love it, so cute. All right, and then dry it. And you can always come back in, because if you've got that 0.7 whatever, you can come back in and kind of highlight. A lot easier, I think, than using a pen. I mean, excuse me, a liner brush. A pen is much easier. And while it's wet, you can still move it around. You can move it around with a brush. I'm sure I'm missing something, a shading or something, but it is what it is. We're gonna leave it like it is. Little on the eye, little on that highlight. Ah, I love that, so cute. Okay, we'll put that there. We're gonna put his little thingy on here. This will be one of the giveaways for the next live that I do. All right, so I'm gonna put him to the side because he's pretty much done. Let's talk about the base real quick. So if you order the kit, the base comes in 2 different pieces. That just makes it thicker because this is the size wood that I cut on. You can take that oyster beige and use that sponge dauber and just go right around the edges, if you will. But I just paint the top of one of them because I find that the glue sticks better to a non-painted surface, all right? And then definitely want the front of that, you know, to be a second coat. But on that, I wanted to give it a little vignette look, make it look like it's part of the design. So a little bit of asphaltum using my 3/8 angle on the toe of my brush. You see there on the camera. Oop, that's kind of wet. So let's go around this way. And I'm just going to float that color right along the edge, and my brush and my hand are on the inside. If I come from here and do that, I'm gonna get a very straight line. So we're just going to loosely float that color on. Again, you can use a mop brush to soften it out if you want to. And this is a 3/8 angle. You could use a 1/2 inch angle, but you wouldn't want to use a 1/4 inch angle because color's going to migrate too much. But a 3/8 or a 1/2, it's a good size. Okay, and then just round those corners. Oops, let's get that. Didn't have enough water in my brush. Get a little bit of a line. Okay, and then I did want to come in on this part. Look at, and the glitter has come off the top of my thing. And do just a little bit of asphaltum along that inside little slit right there. Okay, so again, just a little moisture. And let me look and see if I added any splatter. I did not. It's one thing I'm notorious about forgetting, even though I do it a lot at the end of my lessons. Right, Dawn? It's like, oh, I forgot to splatter. Okay. At first, I thought about putting the knit pattern on the stand. But to be honest with you, I didn't want to make it look like it was part of the cup. So, same coloring, and asphaltum is going to give you that look. Okay? So, let's move that. And then you'll just glue them together. Again, make sure that that edge all the way around has oyster beige. You can glue it with these 6000. Right there, super glue, whatever you want to do. But again, if you don't want it to stand up, put a little ribbon on it, put it on a package as a little gift tag or a little place setting. Super stinking cute, right? Okay, now last thing for this one, let me get it back in front of me, is the glitter on the bow. So the neon confetti glitters, you want to shake it really well. And I'm going to open it, and I'm just going to kind of squeeze it lightly so I can get that to come right up to the top. I even put it on my palette, all right? So I'm going to scoop it with my brush, and I'm just going to kind of pity pat it around the bow tie. And like I did on my other one, I want to get that little green hexagon placed where I want it. So there I have two. I'll move that one there. Again, there are 4 different colors in the neon confetti glitters. I carry all 4. They are so fun. And again, black light reflective. I'll put one of those greens there. And there. And then I think I have one in the center, right? Let me see. I do. One right in the center. Oh, so cute. It just makes them sparkly and fun and festive. Okay, I'm going to move him to the side and then get that black light. So hopefully I can show you again. Let's see if it shows up. See that neon? The other thing is in the bottle, let me get these. In the bottle, you can see the neon. If I owned a store and had these, I would have a black light right up underneath all of them because it would sell itself. All right. Now, let's just talk real quick. If you wanted to varnish this, I would varnish it before I put the glitter on and varnish it before you put the little sprinkles on. Okay, the glitter, excuse me. You could also use a matte spray if you wanted to, but to be honest with you, I hardly ever varnish over where I've glittered unless I use a spray. Okay. Alrighty, thank you, Carrie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, Dawn? My birthday month friend, she had a birthday yesterday. Just looking at the questions now that I want. Oh, y'all are sweet. Okay, can you again say when the last day to order so we can get it before you leave? The 21st. I have it on the top of my, I have it on my website, Linda. So right on the very first page when you come to it, it'll tell you which day that you have to order. I want to say it's Friday, Thursday or Friday, because I leave Sunday. Anyway, I love him. So cute, right? All right, guys. Yes, very fluorescent. The other thing I have to say, when I was doing the black light and I was showing my husband, the glitter, not the glitter, the neon showed up on the candy cane. Like it really was fluorescent with that black light. So that's the problem right now, Linda Safranco, with the kit. It might be about $1 or so cheaper if I take that stencil out. That's why I said with that $6-7 stencil, it's cheaper just to buy 3. If you don't need that stencil, give it to a friend. But I will look at my my costs and everything and see what I can break it down to just do the kit and not with the stencil. So, but for right now, that's how it's set up. The 21st. Thank you guys. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, the 21st, because I don't need to be cutting or packing orders right before I leave. So, plus I have what? I have a class tomorrow with my membership group. Then I have the sunflower class again. That experience. That will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You have lifetime access to it. And then Thursday night, I teach with my membership group. And then I leave Sunday to go to Mexico. In the beginning of December, you guys, if you're signed up for this one, will be getting your email by the middle of this week on access to the Facebook group and any other information that I need to share with you, so that when I get back from Mexico, we can paint this piece start to finish. For those experiences, okay? So thank you so much. I look forward to it. Like I said, I've got these beautiful roses from Tracy. They just, they're just so big and pretty. And I got them before I went to New Orleans. So, but look how pretty they are. And then my husband gave me gorgeous flowers, as he always does, when I go somewhere. Let me just show you guys, when you get flowers, take a little leaf thing, put a little paint on it, put it on something. Super cool. Alrighty. Okay. Have a great week. Be creative. Do something fun. I will be thinking about all y'all tomorrow on my birthday. My membership group, I'll paint with you guys tomorrow, 7:00 p.m. and spend my birthday with you. Don't forget to like, comment, share to be entered into the Happy Mail giveaways. I have 6 more to include. The piece I just painted will be one of the giveaways. And I will be back most likely the first Sunday in December. Okay, I think it's actually the 1st or something. Yeah, it is the 1st. But I haven't decided yet because I will just be back from Mexico. But I'll let you guys know. The stencils could be donated to an art teacher at a school, right, Cindy? Yeah. Yeah, because I cut the stencils, I can have a little bit more wiggle room there. Okay, guys, appreciate y'all. Thanks for being here. Get out those brushes, do something creative. If you're not in the mood or you're not feeling it and you've not painted in a while and you've lost your mojo, get out a surface, grab a brush, base coat it, and before you know it, you are going to be on a roll. Okay? Thanks for Palooza today. Oh, Becky, you're so welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of inspiration, okay? Don't forget, that's this week. That's in December. You can find all that information out on my website. You can also find out information on my membership group and paint with me 3 to 4 times live a month and have access to over 200 plus lessons. All right? And then I also have those Love Color Neon Confetti Glitters. Oh. All righty. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Could not do this without you.